I don't really know how's your take as we wait for Mr. Banda to come through, you know, with the processing. I don't know, how do you see it?
Actually, that's a very, very cardinal point. Okay, there
we have
our guests. Thank you so much, Mr. Banda. We are glad that you could join us this morning. To begin with, you know, we know you are a busy person, and we appreciate and cherish, you know, this opportunity that you've given to us and speak to us this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. I'm actually scoring and rendering art here, so all of Zambia activities is blessed to pray. So I'm going to get busy.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Mr. Banda. We actually miss you. I think it's been a few days that we've not really had you on the show. They educate, you know, the mass on meat processing and, you know, this sector in agriculture. I don't know, how is it going on that side in Solowezi, sir?
Oh, yes, it's going perfectly well. That one seminar, the last, the number of people come, including people that work, people that are farmers, everybody came that wanted to learn how to add value to their pork, to their chickens, and to their beef. So I think it's quite exciting that, you know, people have taken up the addition as really something that they should be able to be doing, so that they're able to get more money and get more money in their pockets.
Okay, that is great. Now, Mr. Banda, today we go a different way, or maybe a mile, in our meat processing discussion. How are the opportunities of us, local farmers, local investors, to export our goods to other countries?
Well, the opportunities are vast. I mean, just when I was here, I met a guy who is originally from Congo, and he attended the last training, and he was actually telling me that, you know, in Congo the opportunities are plentiful for him to be able to supply. And he already, you know, this week he was already buying a smoker and, you know, showing off that, you know, he has already processed his first chickens ready for him to take to Congo. So in terms of the opportunities for our local people to participate, I think what is the challenge that we have is what I call external locus of control. Because most people always think, I can't do this because, I can't do this because always, you know, thinking that outside is what determines what they're going to do. But if we begin to promote high efficacy amongst our people, they have internal locus of control that if things have to happen, it has to be me. It has to be us taking the bull by the horn and being able to, you know, go there and make things happen. As things stand now, you know, the opportunities are there. Even just here in Solowezi, I mean, if you look at all these 3 mines, that's a massive opportunity for people to add the value, to begin to do things that will be able to help them to earn a decent living. But most people are so laid back. We are always watching, whether it's the Chinese, whether the Caucasians, you know, are making things happen. And while we are on the standby, just, you know, watching and wanting to queue up as job seekers instead of us being job creators. I think time is now when we should be able to awaken our citizenry that, you know, we have what it takes and we can be able to make things happen. And sometimes it's just lack of belief in our abilities to be able to say that, you know, if others can make it, why not us? And so I think when you're talking about opportunities, the opportunities first begin with local market. Yeah, develop the local market to an extent where you're satisfied, then we go to the export market. The export market has always been there because, I mean, the world, as they say, there are over 1.3 billion people who are, you know, have food deficiency. So it means that, you know, the market is always there, but all that, you know, lacks is our ability to be able to take charge of that market and begin to at least participate as a global player. At the current moment, before we go global, let us focus internally, satisfy the local market, When we're satisfied, let's go regional. Let's go to Congo. Let's go to Angola, and enable ourselves to be truly resilient entrepreneurs. What we need to awaken in this country is the spirit of entrepreneurship, the spirit of enterprise, to be able to say that, we can be able to start an idea from a small place to a bigger place. If we do that, I believe we shall be able to excel as a nation.
So now, Mr. Ban, I followed the governor keenly when he was giving his report of saying local investors, we are not taking advantage of the export window of opportunity that is there. Instead, people have resorted just to wanting to do business locally. Maybe to some extent, is the environment conducive enough for the local investors to invest and to start actually exporting our products, our goods to the outside countries?
Well, I think if you're talking about the environment has always been conducive. What is not really, conducive is us as a people to be able to really take charge of the opportunities, to be able to, what I call, move to the space. Why we leave it like that is because we are already afraid of the unknown. We don't really believe in ourselves as people that can be able to, export something. Well, I mean, why is it that we have such an appetite for imports, and then we ourselves don't want to export to other countries? Why should we always be, a market for the Chinese, for the English, for the American, when we ourselves are, created beings with 5 senses? What lacks, in my view, what lacks is just the spirit of enterprise. We need to awaken that spirit of enterprise so that we can be able to begin to say that, when we start something here, we must take it to the global market. Otherwise, if we're always thinking that the market is street corner, we will always shun the export market. Because, it's like most people who are here in Solwezi, when we tell them, okay, why don't you, start taking your product Lusaka or to these other places, they're always afraid because they are thinking, hey, this place is too far. I don't want to be away from my family. So the comfort zone, always wanting to be in the comfort zone, I think that also is a huge disservice to us as entrepreneurs.
Okay, I think just a few questions that I would want to ask. Maybe I'll ask 2 questions.
Okay.
Looking at what a Zambian farmer produces, do you think we've reached an extent, or do you think a Zambian farmer has managed to produce enough to sustain ourselves and also export out? I think that's just one aspect that I would want you to touch on. And the second one is looking at how much we actually have as Zambian and what we produce at the end of the day.
As far as the capital is concerned,
yes,
maybe sometimes we don't have enough capital to produce enough to export and leave some to sustain ourselves.
Yeah, and I think you are doing a training touching meat processing and everything. Have you reached a point at any time where you get down and emphasize and tell them the importance of trading across borders in as much as they produce, even in meat processing? Have you really managed to talk to people and tell them it's actually possible that when you produce more, you can actually export whatever you have at the end of the day? Okay,
it's quite a loaded question that you have right there. First, to answer the first one, are we producing, as Zambian farmers, are they producing enough for us to be able to export? The answer, let's look at maize. The years when we say we have a bumper harvest. The years when we have bumper harvest, we always have our next door neighbor, the Congolese, always coming here to say we need your maize. We have the Kenyans coming here, the Tanzanians coming here that we need your maize. What lacks is, the capacity of those farmers to be able to be engaged in international trade. So maybe it is part of a ZDA job, but also part of us those who are pushing the agribusiness to be able to, school our farmers. Maybe not farmers, but this group of entrepreneurs, because farmers are farmers, let's face it. You don't expect a farmer, to be waiting on the rain and then later on start dealing with international trade. What we need is another part of the value chain where entrepreneurs begin to take this case, be able to say, well, excess, why don't we take it to the export market? Because it requires a different skill set for you to be able to go into the export market. And the farmers normally want to focus on product. And we need people who are entrepreneurs who should be able to see the opportunity in Congo, the opportunity in Angola to be able to produce. And then the other question was, do we have sufficient, the proverbial capital? I think capital is always there. And now, what they say, that you should not look for capital only in country, you should be thinking global. Because, they are venture capitalists, they are international money which is lying around, which requires entrepreneurs to know how to access that capital so that we're able to build enterprise. But that will require also a lot of teamwork, because one is too small a number for greatness. If you want to build a great enterprise, you need to assemble a team of entrepreneurs that can be able to access international capital and begin to build an enterprise that shakes the world. So when we talk about the trainings we have put our trainings in levels. Level 1 is the training where we focus on what we call technical skills transfer. In technical skills transfer, we teach our participants how to. So it's a how to, it's the skills, how to make polony, how to make Hungarian sausage, how to make burvo sausage, how to smoke chickens, how to smoke fish. So the emphasis in level 1 is for people to have hands-on in terms of producing these things that should be able to take them to the next level. So the idea is that when they are adding value, when they are processing, they should be able to be mindful of things that help them to be able to take the challenge forward. As the level 2,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Banda. I think we have, a lot. You have a lot actually to bring out so that our farmers can,
he has a lot of loaded information. You understand? He can talk.
But we will continue engaging you on these, various topics in as far as, adding value to our product is concerned. For now, we will have to let you go, but be sure, maybe, I think tomorrow.
We can still have him tomorrow, so they can still continue talking about it.
Continue with our topic. Thank you so much, Mr. Banda, for having given us this opportunity to talk to you.
Okay, that was Mr. Gilbert Banda.
Mr. Gilbert Banda.
And emphasizing more on how we can actually export our own products out of the country.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting.
The more we export, the more revenue we have.